students, this is chapter number 4, plant nutrition. In today's lesson, we will cover the following topics. We'll see the movement of water in xylem vessel by capillary action, transpiration, pull and root pressure. Then we will see what transpiration is. The factors that affect transpiration include strong winds, temperature, light and humidity. First, let's see how water is taken up by the root hair cell and then into adjacent cells and then into the xylem vessel. If you see here, whenever we give water to the plant, the water is absorbed by root hair cell. This water would be transferred to adjacent cells by simple diffusion because of the water potential gradient. It will keep on moving into the subsequent cells until it will reach the xylem vessel. So if you see here, when water has reached the xylem vessel, we know the structure already. We know that it has no protoplasm and it has no cross walls, while the lignin is deposited on the walls of xylem vessel, providing strength and mechanical support. Now we have to see that how water is moved up against the gravity into the xylem vessel. Here in the plant you can see I have given you 4 points. Water absorbed by root hair cell, this is something we have read already in chapter number 1. Then we see that there are 3 mechanisms by which the water is being pulled up into the xylem vessel against the gravity. We'll see them one by one. The 3 processes that causes the movement of water up against the gravity in the xylem vessel includes capillary action. To understand capillary action, first understand 2 forces, adhesion forces and cohesion forces. Cohesion forces are between the molecules of similar types, while adhesion is the forces of attraction between 2 dissimilar molecules. So here in the diagram I have tried to show you that cohesion is the force of attraction which is present between the water molecules, while adhesion is the force of attraction between water molecules and the wall of xylem vessel. So what happens is that the water molecules are being attracted towards each other because of cohesion force, and they are attracted towards the wall of xylem vessel because of adhesion forces. These forces causes the movement of water up against the gravity in the xylem vessel. This is the capillary action. This can also be understood by a simple common observation that whenever you will place a straw in a water glass, the water would move into the straw without being sucked up. Whenever you are placing a straw which is acting as a xylem vessel in a glass of water, without you being sucking it from the above, you would observe that water would reach to a certain level into the straw. This is because of capillary action, which is caused by these 2 forces. Also remember that capillary action is not visible in tall plants or plants with greater heights. It is because of the fact that it is not a very great force to pull up water in a great length. It can only be visible in shorter heighted plants. So how would we be able to define capillary action? It's the movement of water up into the xylem vessel because of adhesive forces between water molecules and xylem vessel wall and cohesive forces between water molecules. Next is root pressure. To understand the theory of root pressure, first look at the diagram here. I have tried to explain you the process here. The xylem vessel is being formed here, and the living cells around the xylem vessels are pumping the ions by active transport into the xylem vessel. This is the xylem vessel, and the ones shown in the green color are the living cells around the xylem vessel. What do? They pump the ions through active transport into the xylem vessel. Now if you keep on pumping the ions into the xylem vessel, the water potential would get lowered. This water potential being lowered would cause more water to be taken from the root hair cell into the xylem vessel, causing a diffusion gradient, or causing the water potential gradient would cause more water being absorbed from root hair cell into the xylem vessel. So what we did is, not we actually, I mean to say that the living cells, what they did, they pumped the ions by active transport into the xylem vessel, which caused the lowering of water potential in xylem vessel. It will lead for it will lead to more absorption of water from root hair cell into the xylem vessel. This is the theory here. Living cells around the xylem vessel in the root pump ions into the xylem vessel by active transport, which lowers the water potential in the xylem vessel. This causes the movement of water from the living cells into the xylem vessel by osmosis. I hope you got the last point right, that whenever you will pump more ions into the xylem vessel, the water potential would get lower compared to the cells adjacent to the xylem vessel. It will not only lead to more water being absorbed from the root hair cell, but also the water from the surrounding cells would move from the area of their higher water potential to the area of their low water potential by simple osmosis. Next is transpiration pull. To understand that, you need to know transpiration first. Transpiration is actually the loss of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant, especially through the stomata of the leaves. So transpiration is actually evaporation, but it is from the aerial parts of the plant. Aerial parts means whichever part is exposed to air would lead to loss of water from there, especially through the stomata of the leaves. Whenever the water is absorbed from root hair cell, it will be lost somehow the other through the diffusion process from the stomata out in the atmosphere. This is called transpiration. What transpiration pull is? This is the suction force which is created in the xylem vessel caused by the transpiration. You see here in the diagram, I have tried to show you that how water is being absorbed from the root hair cell, and then it is taken up against the gravity into the xylem vessel, and then it goes into mesophyll cells and then into air spaces and then out from stomata outside the environment. So the evaporation of water from mesophyll cells results in a suction force which pulls the water up in the xylem vessel. This suction force due to transpiration is known as transpiration pull. The stream of water which is being created here, stream of water means the file of water, the line of water molecules which is being formed here, is called transpiration pull. So what we got to know, that transpiration pull is actually a suction force in the xylem vessel which is created because of the loss of water from the mesophyll cells out into the external environment from the stomata. Now we will see what are the factors that affect the rate of transpiration. First is humidity. Humidity is actually the measure of water molecules in the air. The percentage, the content of water vapors in the air is actually the humidity. It can be less, it can be more. High humidity decreases the rate of transpiration and vice versa. To understand this phenomenon, let's suppose that we have taken a plant. One of the shoot is not covered with a plastic bag while the other is. The third one is covered with plastic bag but contains no leaves. So we know that the aerial parts of the plant, all the stem, which is also containing stomata but in fewer number, and also the leaves would transpire, they will lose water into the external environment. What we have done is that we have created high humidity in the shoot which is covered with plastic bag. We are not letting the water molecules escape into the external environment. It is being trapped into the plastic bag. Now the humidity or the percentage of water molecules inside the bag is more compared to this shoot which is not covered with plastic bag. Whatever water molecules will be lost or transpired would escape into the external environment, while here the water molecules will be trapped inside the plastic bag, increasing the humidity. So you will see that the transpiration rate in this shoot would increase first and then decrease. It will increase till a point when the plastic bag is not saturated with water molecules. Once it is full of water molecules, humidity would increase, leading to decrease in transpiration rate. On the other hand, in this shoot, the transpiration rate would continue to be constant because of the fact that water molecules are being transpired. Water would be taken up by the root hair cells from the pot and it will be transpired into the external environment. They won't be trapped here. On this side, we have the stem without leaves, here the transpiration rate would be slower because of the fact that the stem contains very few stomata, so they won't transpire a lot. Next is strong wind. Strong winds increase the rate of transpiration as it carries the water molecules from around the plant and making the surrounding of the leaves drier, thus increasing the rate of transpiration. So what happens is that whenever the plants are losing water, if there is strong wind, these water molecules would be carried away. The surrounding of the plant would become drier, or the dry air would exist around the plant. It will cause more water to be lost into the environment because of the diffusion gradient. You know that water moves from higher water potential to lower water potential. Here the water molecules would diffuse out from the stomata because of the fact that the outside environment is quite dry compared to the inside of the leaves. It is caused by strong winds which would cause the water molecules transpired by the plant to be carried away. So the environment next to the plant would be very dry, leading to more transpiration. Next is light. You know, during the light or daytime, stomata are open because they are taking up carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So whenever stomata are open, it will increase the rate of transpiration. Temperature is the next factor which affect the rate of transpiration. Higher temperature increase the rate of transpiration. At higher temperature, more heat energy is transferred to the water molecules. Latent heat of vaporization. This is the amount of energy or heat required for water to change from liquid to vapor state. So whenever you are increasing the temperature, you are actually providing the water molecules with more energy. This energy would cause the water molecules to change their physical form, that is to convert from water or liquid form to vapor state. The more the energy the water molecules had, the faster it evaporates and vice versa. So here in the diagram, I have again tried to show you the movement of water molecules out from the leaf through stomata. Water was actually present in the xylem vessel from where it goes into mesophyll cells. Now, if the external environment is having high temperature, strong winds, or less humidity or light, more water would go into the intercellular spaces and out from the stomata. So actually, by increasing the temperature, you are increasing the kinetic energy of the water molecules, or you are providing water molecules with enough latent heat of vaporization that their molecules will start to convert to vapor state and would be evaporated from the mesophyll cells out from the stomata. Remember that the evaporation is from a surface. So this surface is of mesophyll cells. The evaporation of water would take place from the surface of mesophyll cells. The water molecules would come into the intercellular spaces, and if the diffusion gradient exists, the water molecules will be escape from the stomata.